me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right on the surface? You've read the books, you follow the morning routines, you're setting goals, and yet something still feels off. Like no matter how many good habits you try to build, you are still stuck in that mental loop. Maybe you even told yourself, this is the year I finally take control. And for a few days, maybe even weeks, you show up, you make changes, and you feel that rush of progress. But eventually, the spark fades, life gets loud, and you slowly found yourself right where you started. Not because you didn't try enough, but because you never actually understood what self-improvement actually means. And that's exactly what we are talking about in today's video. Not the Instagram version of personal development, but the real, often invisible, deeply uncomfortable process of inner transformation. But because self-improvement isn't about being perfect, it's about becoming honest, it's about looking inward and asking, who am I right now? And who do I really want to become? In this video, we are going to review why most people fail at personal growth, even when they are doing all the right things. We are also going to be looking at what real self-improvement looks like on a psychological and emotional level, and how to finally start growing in a way that doesn't burn you out or leave you feeling fake. So whether you're just starting your journey or you're in that frustrating middle stage where nothing seems to be working, this video is for you. You're not broken, you're not behind, you're just about to understand self-improvement in a completely different way. So let's begin. Self-improvement, as we know, is a phrase that gets thrown around constantly. Whether on TikTok, you see 5 a.m. workouts, on Instagram is 30-day challenges, and on YouTube is hundreds of creators telling you to optimize your life. But let's pause for a second and really think about this. What does self-improvement actually mean? Because if you ask most people, they'll say things like being more productive, reading more books, hustling harder, or leveling up. And sure, those things can be helpful, but they are not the whole picture. And the truth is, real self-improvement is not about becoming a more efficient machine. It's not about squeezing more output out of yourself, like you're some sort of high-performance robot. This is about becoming more you. It's about closing the gap between the version of yourself you are today and the version you know you are capable of becoming. Not because social media told you so, but because you feel it deep down that there is more to you than what you're currently living. And sometimes that more isn't about doing more. Sometimes it's about healing, about unlearning, or slowing down enough to actually hear your own thoughts without the noise. Because if you've ever felt overwhelmed by all the self-content out there, but you're not alone, we are constantly being told to do more. Read more, wake up earlier, run harder. But here's the paradox. Trying to improve yourself by constantly feeling like you're not enough is the fastest way to burn out. So what if we flipped the script? What if self-development isn't about pushing harder, but aligning deeper? What if it's about asking, who am I becoming? Instead of, how much more can I get done today? That shift changes everything, because then it's not about building habits or setting goals. It's about identity. It's about showing up with intention and not pressure. And that's what this video and this journey is really about. Sometimes it feels like self-improvement is everywhere. Open TikTok and you see morning routines that start at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., ice bath, two-step rituals. On Instagram, you scroll past someone's six-figure side hustle or their before and after life transformation. And YouTube is filled with thumbnails that are screaming, become unstoppable. And while some of that content can feel inspiring, and if you are honest, a lot of it can feel like pressure, like you're constantly running behind. But there are some truths most of those videos don't tell you. Some of the most popular self-improvement advice is not just effective, it's actually keeping most people stuck. So in this video, we are going to break down 3 of the biggest myths that are floating around in the personal development space. These are the ones I see repeated the most, and the ones that quietly makes people feel like they are failing. So let's walk through them together. The first myth is that you just need more discipline. And if I may ask you, How many times have you told yourself that? You tell yourself, I just need to be more disciplined. I need to stop being lazy. Actually, few times I think I might have told myself that in the past. Maybe I didn't get some task done. I think, oh, then I tell myself I need to be more disciplined. And then you tell yourself, if I was serious, I wouldn't keep sleeping. But the truth is, discipline without direction is just pressure. And pressure without clarity, that's burnout in disguise. Most people aren't lacking discipline. What they are really missing is structure or energy or even self-compassion. Because when you're mentally exhausted, emotionally drained, or trying to juggle too much at once, you should know that pushing yourself harder doesn't solve the problem. Usually, it makes it worse. So instead of forcing yourself to do more, try asking yourself, is this habit I'm chasing actually aligned with what I want? Is the pressure I'm putting on myself helping or just exhausting me? And most importantly, how can I support myself better instead of blaming myself? Because self-discipline is not about punishment. It's about building the right systems that allow you to follow through, even when things feel hard. The second myth flowing around I've seen is, if I'm not changing fast, I'm failing. This second one, I tell you, really messes with people, especially in the age of instant updates and 30-day glow up challenges. We are constantly seeing people's finish lines and comparing them to our day one. We watch a YouTuber go from chaos to calm in 12 minutes. We hear a podcast guest talk about how they turned their life around in just 6 months. And slowly, these toxic little beliefs start to settle in. If I'm not making fast progress, something must be wrong with me. But here is what no one says. Real growth is slow, it's quiet, sometimes even invisible. Think about this for a moment. A tree doesn't grow faster just because you stay at it. The most important changes happen underground, unseen, unmeasured, but absolutely essential. So if you're in a phase where things seem slow or repetitive, that's not failure. That's the foundation. And what helps more than chasing speed is shifting the goal entirely. And instead of asking, what result do I want? Try asking, who am I becoming in this process? Because when your goal is identity and not outcome, you stop measuring progress in days and start measuring it in alignment. And of course, the third myth floating around I've seen is, I should already have figured this out. This one is quite sneaky because you'll be having a good day, feeling okay about your life, and then you scroll past someone your age who just bought their dream home, or landed a dream job, or hit a milestone you didn't even know you were supposed to be aiming for. And suddenly you're not just scrolling, but you're spiraling. I'm behind. I'm doing everything wrong. I should be further along. But let me tell you something that has helped a lot of people more than the motivational quote. There is no universal timeline. Everyone's working with different tools, different struggles, and different starting points. Comparing your progress to someone else's success story is like comparing your internal weather to their highlight reel. And the truth is, most people don't figure it out. They simply feel their way through. They take the next best step and they course correct as they go. They correct themselves as they go, as they progress. And that's the real deal. So instead of asking, why don't I have it together yet? You should try asking, what's one small way I can move forward today? Because momentum beats mastery. So let's wrap all these facts together. These three myths, they don't help. They are. They create shame, pressure, paralysis. But when you replace them with better truth, everything changes. You don't need more discipline, you need more clarity. And you certainly don't need to go faster, you need to go deeper. And you're not late, you're just on your own path. And that path, it doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be real. So the fact is, most of us are not new to self-development. We've read the quotes, saved the rules, even try a few 30-day challenges, and yet we still feel stuck. And the question we should be asking is why? Because the way self-development is sold to us is often incomplete, sometimes even misleading. We are told that if you just wake up at 5 a.m., journal for 10 minutes, drink lemon water, meditate, and hit the gym, life will automatically change and success will follow. And voila, everything will finally click into place. But to be honest with ourselves, how many tries have we actually tried that same routine, only to burn out by the third day? The problem isn't you, the problem is the system. What's advice focusing on changing what you do, but real transformation. But real transformation happens when you change how you see yourself. And this is where identity comes in. And according to the author of Atomic Habits, James Clear, true behavioral change is identity change. And this means that if you're just trying to force new actions without shifting your self-image, it's going to feel like constant uphill battle. And let's look at this example. Let's say you want to start writing every morning. So you tell yourself, I'm going to be consistent, I'm going to do this every single day. But if deep down your identity is still, I'm not a writer or I never finish things, your brain will keep repeating that habit. And if you want to learn more about why your brain keeps repeating such habits, you can watch my last video for more explanation. So it will feel like you're pretending to be someone you are not. Now, imagine instead that you make a small shift. You say, I'm a writer, writing is what I do. And even if it's just for 10 minutes a day, that one shift makes the habit feel aligned. And it wouldn't feel fake. It will feel like confirmation. And when a habit confirms who you believe you are, it becomes natural and it simply becomes you. And this is why your mindset matters so much more than your morning routine. If you see yourself as someone who constantly struggles, who always quits, who lacks discipline, then no habit tracker or productivity app is going to change that. But if you start rewriting your internal story, even just a tiny bit, your actions begin to follow. So ask yourself, who do I believe I am? And is that belief helping or hurting the version of me I'm trying to become? And that's the question most self-improvement books skip. But this is the question that changes everything. And this brings me to say the thing about self-improvement that no one really talks about. And this is how fragile it can feel. Like one bad week, one moment of stress, a single dip in energy, and suddenly everything you've been working on, everything you've been building starts to slip through your fingers. You stop journaling, you miss your morning routine, and then this voice in your head goes, see? You can never stick to anything. But the truth is you can. You just need a better system. One that is built to last through the chaos, not just in spite of it. So let's talk about how to do that. Because the most life-changing transformations I've seen, whether it's waking up earlier, breaking a bad habit, or becoming more confident, didn't happen because someone found a secret hack. They happened because they finally understood one thing, that real self-improvement is not about intensity. It's simply about consistency. So to succeed in your self-improvement journey, choose identity and not outcome. Let's say you want to get fitter. Most people set a goal like, I want to lose 10 pounds or I want abs in 30 days. But here's what happens next. If they miss a workout or eat one bad meal, they feel like they failed. And that shame makes them give up totally. But if your goal is identity based, something like, I want to become the kind of person who moves their body daily, then one off day doesn't threaten the goal. It's part of the process. You didn't fail, you're just on the path. And of course, James Clear puts it beautifully. Every action is a vote for the type of person you want to become. So instead of chasing a number or a finish line, try asking yourself, what kind of person do I want to become this year? And then let every small action cast a vote in that direction. Then the next for you is to build systems and not burdens. So here is a big mindset shift. Self-improvement should feel easier over time and not harder. And that only happens when you build systems that work for your life. So what does that look like? Let's say you want to meditate daily. Funny enough, the habit fails when you rely on remembering to do it. But if you say, right after I make my coffee, I sit down for 2 minutes of silence, that's a system. And it's plugged into a routine you already follow. And according to James Clear, this is habit stacking. Maybe you want to stop scrolling on your phone at night. Put your phone in another room. That's a system too. And this is the system called environment design. So it's not about pushing harder, it's about making the right choices, the easy choice. The YouTuber Ali Abdal said something that I really love. If you have to rely on discipline, the system is broken. So the next strategy in your self-improvement journey is to focus on the next step, not all of them. And this is when you're breaking your tasks or routines into smaller doable actions. And this is because a big reason people stop improving is overwhelmed. They see where they want to go, but it feels so far. So instead of taking the first step, they freeze. So let me offer you something gentler. What if you didn't need to figure it all out today? What if you just need to know your next right step? And that might be getting to bed 20 minutes earlier, or drinking a full glass of water first thing in the morning, or simply setting a timer for 10 minutes of deep work. That one next action is all your brain needs to start building momentum. So self-improvement isn't a sprint. It's not a punishment. It's not a race to some perfectly optimized version of yourself. It's a gentle, steady return to who you've always have the potential to be. And the more we treat it with patience, the more it sticks. So if you've been feeling like you keep starting all over, maybe the truth is you're not starting all over, becoming. And that is simply more than enough. So thank you and see you in my next video.